New Vision Publishing Incorporated. Today we are going to tackle what I feel is the most dangerous obstacle to the good life: fear. A quote by Seneca, a Roman philosopher and statesman, says, "But there is no reason to live and no limit to our miseries if we let our fears predominate." We humans are a peculiar species. We fear the unknown. However, as soon as we know something, oftentimes we fear that as well. How many of us have received a bill in the mail and didn't open it for fear of what the amount due would be? That small fear instructed us to lay the bill aside until some later date or time. The time passes and you've neglected the bill, and now your utilities have been shut off, or you've incurred late fees, or your credit rating has been negatively affected. All of these things are worse than opening the envelope as you should have in the beginning. Remember, if you are under the influence of fear, you are not in your right mind. Your fear of being hurt in a relationship prevents you from enjoying the pleasures that a good relationship can bring. Your fear poisons your mind, and you do relationship destructive things that ultimately bring on what you feared in the first place. Fear doesn't allow you to enjoy the good times, for fear that something bad is about to happen. You live a life always waiting for the other shoe to drop. Your life is filled with anxiety and worry about the things that are not in your power to control. You worry about what someone else is or is not doing, both of which are not within our control. Our fears control us, and under that influence, we experience worry and doubt. Unfortunately, that attitude of fear, worry, and doubt emanates from us and affects those with whom we come in contact with. Do you know someone who always seems negative about everything? When you are around them, how do you feel? The good news is that you can learn to manage your fears. Using your reasoned choice, you can decide to look at the root cause of your fear and then make another decision not to let that fear have the rule over you. In other words, open the envelope. Face your fear head on, and then you can conquer it. Worry is another obstacle to the good life. We are so predisposed to worry about any and everything. What happened in the past, what might happen in the future, so on and so forth. The problem that we must understand is that worrying about the past is useless because we cannot change it. Worrying about the future is equally fruitless because we know not what the future holds. Our only reasoned choice is to deal with the present. In any situation, determine what is within your power and what is not. If something is within your power, address it to the best of your ability. If it is not within your power, discard it like an old newspaper. Honestly, what has worry gained you? Did it change anything at all? I recently had a medical diagnosis, and while waiting for the results of the test, I was exhorted to call about the results. I refused. I refused because the results would be what they were, whether I worried about them or not. It took 2 weeks for the results of the test. I waited without worry, for I had reasoned that I would address the results and the process going forward once I did get the results. I knew that worrying for 2 weeks would not in any way alter the results of the test. If I worried about the test and it came back negative, I would have wasted 2 weeks for nothing. If I worried about the results for 2 weeks and the test was positive, my worry didn't change anything. This is the attitude that we should adopt for dealing with worry. When the situation arises, then take the appropriate action. Worry and fear cripples our thought process. We lose our right reason and are rendered unable to make a reasoned choice. Worry and fear do not help you. They hinder you and take you off the path to the good life. I now must pay my debt to you for your kind attention in the form of a quote that you should take to heart. He worries more than necessary who worries before it is necessary. Thank you for listening, and we'll be back next week in search of the good life.